Hey guys, this week's video is going to feature this knife, the Garberg, and this material over here on the ground, pitch pine, pine knots, pitchwood. It has a lot of colloquial names. And while most of you are probably familiar with the material, you may not be familiar with the reason it's featured in this video. And I've been looking forward to giving the Garberg a go since it came out a couple of years ago. And it's a knife made to take some abuse and some rough use, and that's the perfect kind of knife for this task. So, on with the show. This material here, I'm laying here and here, is what the old timers referred to as pine knots. And it occurs when a pine tree dies while standing, and then the sap starts to settle into the heart of the tree, settle down to the base of the tree, and it settles into the base of the limbs, which is what makes these pine knots. Sometimes you find them standing up, skeletons of trees in the woods. Other times you find them laying down. They look like they're rotten, but don't let the looks deceive you. It's very much not rotten. It's a very resin-rich core of wood that's both hydrophobic and highly flammable. So here in our temperate rainforest, East Appalachian temperate rainforest, it comes in handy for multiple reasons. Most people know about its uses as a fire starter, but this video is about using it for another purpose. One of the cool things about pine knots is the same thing that gives it away when you find it and can see that it's not just rotten wood. It's weight and density. It allows it to be a really good, easily found baton here in our environment. You don't have to cut a baton or whittle one. You can just pick it up off the ground. And when you're wanting to split the pine knots, you can see how rich it is inside, richly colored. Definitely not rotten wood. One of the reasons I wanted the Garberg was the extended tang. Splitting the pine knots, batoning it lengthwise works really well. Trying to separate it into slivers and shavings, splitting it from the top, not so much. It's easier if you can drive the knife into it in chisel fashion. Now the cool thing about pitchwood is it's hydrophobic. It doesn't absorb water in the rain, so it's a great wet weather fire starter. One of its characteristics is great for some aspects. don't know if it'll show up on camera, if you can see the accurate black smoke that it's producing or not. This camera doesn't do the greatest at autofocusing up close. There you go, now you can see it. This black smoke that makes it horrible for cooking over, that will make your food taste all sorts of funny and be rather unhealthy probably, will actually help run off flying, biting insects in your camp. If you light if you split a few slivers and have them burning, just let them burn. Have them on different sides of the camp and let the smoke go back and forth through the camp. Trying not to inhale it, of course. But it's one way that you can drive off some of the gnats and mosquitoes that'll drive you mad in our rainforest if you don't have some other method to do so. One way you can utilize these smoke is to make like an improvised incense holder. The pitch pine will burn like a candle, producing a lot of black smoke, driving off a lot of insects. That one went out, but it was kind of thick. The thinner you can cut the slivers, the better they burn like a candle. So here in the East Appalachian temperate rainforest, for multiple reasons, being able to identify pitchwood can be very handy.